I just saw three men eat an Oreo out of their ass. Um, what does that have to do with their video? Actually fucking nothing. Hello, my name is Luna, and today is a random fucking rant video because I decided that I'm going to procrastinate and also make my life more complicated by picking on bigger tasks that I can actually handle. So, I am not going to be releasing the Poppy War video this week. I might not even release it next week because I also decided to do like a little unhinged recap of the Borgias because I find Francois Arnaud incredibly attractive. You know, the bisexual? Yeah, the bisexual, French Canadian guy who's in heated rivalry, who dates Kip. And by the way, I know damn well he hated those fuck ass smoothies. No offense to Kip and the smoothies, but that smoothie looked whack as fuck. Okay, anyway, I wanted to talk about like the misogyny of like 2000s TV shows, not necessarily because of because again, we've had this conversation before. Like, people have obviously stated how misogynistic most 2000s TV shows were and how homophobic they all are, and so on and so forth. But currently, I'm thinking of like, not hate watching, but guilty pleasure watching Blue Mountain State. For those who know. I'm mostly watching it because I find the main protagonist kinda attractive. You know, Wyatt from Bold and the Beautiful and Jack Reacher, right? They're in it. I'm mostly there for Jack Reacher, if I'm being honest. Plus, I was really into him in spandex when he played Hawk in Teen Titans, one of my favorite versions of Teen Titans. Obviously, it's Teen Titans, the animated series, then it's Teen Titans, the comics, specifically the one where Raven is an actual fucking adult, or at least looks like an adult and looks like she's Daisy, you know? And then there's the live action, and then followed by Teen Titans Go. I actually do like Teen Titans Go, specifically for the characterization of Raven. I'm kind of guilty pleasure watching it. I've just watched the first episode, and oh my god, is that bitch gonna be annoying to get through, because first of all, the treatment of women in the show is kind of ass, but it's like kind of supposed to be that way, because like it's like, oh, footballers and their objectification of women, because they all objectify women, and like it's supposed to be this raunchy TV show. Like, a part of me wants to truly believe that it's satire and it's just supposed to be stupid fun that kind of mocks the way that like footballers exist and all of that, because like for the most part they are mocking footballers, specifically when it comes to things like hazing, because throughout the episode, I didn't really know his name, I'm just gonna call him Wyatt. Wyatt keeps saying that, hey, most of the hazing is actually just gay, which there's nothing wrong with being gay. However, that's not what he said. He did use gay as kind of an insult, and then the Jack Reacher takes it as such and ends up, throwing a bitch fit. Now, obviously, I understand that of course a 2000s TV show is going to have such problematic undertones, and I kind of want to question, should I be able to watch this without feeling kind of bad for watching it? Obviously, I am very much anti-capitalist, so I am, in fact, not, paying for it. Don't ask, but I'm not paying for it. Now, I'm currently watching it because, I just want to fucking giggle, and also I saw, a few TikToks of it, specifically some funny moments, and for example, I also watched American Pie, and American Pie is super problematic for its representation and treatment of women, in the form, and they try to excuse it by saying that it's comedy, but at the same time, how far can we use the excuse that it's just comedy to let things slide? And can I actually enjoy said comedy even though I know that it's wrong and it mostly uses women as the butt of the joke? Now, personally speaking, I'm just there for the humor and the hijinks of a bunch of teenage boys as they go through the college experience, and so on and so forth. But I also kind of feel really bad, because again, it is a guilty pleasure. And I feel like at some point, I either need to lock in and decide to just not watch it, or continue watching it and just have it be that guilty pleasure. But at the same time, I kind of don't want to watch it, because it's because another thing about the 2000s is they tend to be kind of iffy when it comes to racial issues. And I'm gonna give this show one thing. It has a main protagonist who is a black man and he's in a black couple. However, spoiler for this first episode actually, I'm pretty sure his girlfriend's bisexual, which would be great bi representation, except she's cheating on him. So that's not so good bi representation, specifically for a black woman. Like, oh my god, I need the stereotype of bi people who, like, cheat on their partners to, like, disappear, because whoever fucking made that shit up was a liar, because that's not true. We do not cheat. Also, this is me telling you guys that I'm, in fact, bisexual. Most media that I will forever consume will be guilty pleasures, because I love 2000s TV shows, but 2000s TV shows do not love me. I have to deal with things like, Charmed, for example, right? The only black characters in the entire show, right, get written off, and, like, he ends up getting imprisoned. It's complicated. Like, the arcs of Charmed are really fucking complicated, not because, like, Charmed itself is a complicated show, but more because it makes itself a bigger issue than it needs to be. Because, like, we can talk about the semantics of, like, having a black police officer exist within the sphere. We could also have a conversation about, like, oh, the fact that we only see his black wife in, like, the 6th season. Mind you, he's been married since season 1 when he makes his first appearance. Kinda crazy, isn't it? We could also have a conversation about, like, hey, because of him sticking his neck out for a bunch of white girls, he ends up getting imprisoned and is going to be put on death row because of the situation that the Charmed girls put him in. And, like, we could have a conversation about that, but at the most part, it's kind of just, like, media literacy and, like, oh, should we actually give a fuck because it's, like, fiction, and, like, it honestly doesn't really matter because, like, it's already completed, and, like, we can have, and, like, it was just a part of the time. But I feel like if every time we say that, oh, but that's just the way that things were done back then, it completely defeats the purpose of having the conversation in the first place, if you get my understanding, right? Like, we need to have those conversations. We can't just be like, oh, but that's the past, you know? Because forgetting and trying to skim past something doesn't erase the fact that that thing happened, if you get my understanding. Because those conversations matter. If we don't have those conversations, nothing will change. Anyway, thank you for watching. Please subscribe, and toodles.